literary geeks, happy Monday. I was talking with some other book bloggers about diversity and this new wave of diversity that's come in the last couple of years about including people of different races and why, people of different religions, different kinds of ethnicities and mythologies, and now a bunch of authors doing own voices books and like having more inclusivity within the YA universe. One thing we all kind of noticed was that there was a lack of books and authors writing about disabilities. And I know it's difficult to write about a disability that you do not have, and I know the majority of authors out there do not have a disability, so, you know, don't write about what you don't know, etc. But there are plenty of people out there with either a visible or an invisible disease, illness, disability that I would love to hear more about and that I would love to be a character. That being said, there are plenty of taboos surrounding the idea of disability, so I compiled a list for all of you writers today about the do's and don'ts of writing a disability. Don't. If you do not have the disability or illness yourself, do not limit your research to what you can find on Wikipedia. Do! Check out the resources like the library for books, or have beta readers that have this disability or illness to make sure that nothing in your manuscript is not politically correct or offensive. Don't assume things about how this person feels about their disability. For example, some people may think that someone in a wheelchair feels trapped, but maybe for that person it's a sense of freedom because they aren't able to walk anywhere, but they can get themselves somewhere. To others, maybe it's an obstacle in their journey for recovery. Maybe it's a stepping stone, so just don't assume that because you think that way, they think that way. Do! Choose disability-friendly language. So instead of saying a cripple, you could say amputee. I would also check with certain people that have disabilities to kind of make sure you're not being overly politically correct, if that makes any sense. I was reading a blog post about where an author was interviewing a blind person, and the person just said, don't bother being like, oh, they're visually impaired, or, you know, they're ocularly challenged, like, just say they're blind. Just put it out there. It's a word that describes what, you know, I'm blind, I can't see. Don't make the disabled person's character arc be the miraculous recovery. There are plenty of disabilities and illnesses and mental disorders that the recovery period of is a long time. Unless your novel takes place over a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you can't assume that the person that has this disorder or disability or illness is just going to miraculously be cured of this within the span of a week. And if it's a new disability, say someone just lost their leg in a car accident or they just started a new medication, adapting to having this new disability or illness or disorder can take years just to feel normal in it. Keep in mind, recoveries do not happen overnight, nor sometimes do they happen at all. Over the last year and a half, I myself have been diagnosed with chronic pain, and I'm moving towards getting it fixed, and it's something that probably will be fixed or can be fixed, but there is a possibility of it not being. And just having that invisible illness over the last almost 2 years now is weird. Like, it changes your whole life and how you think about going out and planning things and doing activities. If you're writing about it, you need to be able to do enough research that someone that actually has that disability can point out things that are wrong or maybe misconceptions, or just say, you're being rude, don't write us like that. You write a book about a illness, it's usually about the illness. It's not necessarily about the character. And if you want to write a book about someone that has a new disability and is, you know, easing into it, go for it. That's totally cool. In a novel, you're trying to write a character, you're trying to write a person, you're not trying to write a disability. Diversity is a good thing, and I find that a lot of like illnesses and disorders are not represented in YA, and I feel like that's a genre that a lot of young people with disabilities are going to read and want to be able to see themselves in this. Join us at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube for our live chat, and I hope to see you guys all there. Have a good week!